Good morning, children. Today again we are going to continue the same chapter, chapter number 3, sources of finance for a joint stock company. So today's topic is preference shares. And preference shares is also one of the long-term sources of finance of a joint stock company. The term preference, why they are so called preference? So here the term preference, here what are the preference attached with these shares? The first preference attached is payment of dividend to the preference shareholder. The payment of dividend is first declared to the preference shareholder. That's why they are so called preference. Before the dividend declared to the equity share or any other shares, first dividend is declared to the preference shares. Dividend means a profit. So first, before declaring a dividend to the equity shareholders, first dividend is declared to the preference shareholders. So that's why they are so called preference. And second is redemption of capital. So when the company wind up, when the company is closed, a company has to return back the capital of the shareholders. Before the redemption of equity shareholders, first preference shareholders capital is returned back. So redemption of capital also. So preference is given in terms of redemption of capital, and payment of dividend declared to the preference shareholder is given prior to the dividend declared to the equity shareholder. That's why they are so called preference. So these are preferences. They are not the owner of the company. They do not have any voting rights. So they have no voting rights. They cannot take part in the management of the company. So they are a loan provider. They are a creditor of the company. So they are not the owner of the company. So there is a difference between the preference shares and equity share. Equity share are the owner of the company, whereas preference shareholders are the creditor of the company. Preference shareholders, preference shares, they have a two rights. Some preference is given to the preference shareholders like payment of dividend and redemption of capital, whereas no such preference is attached to the equity shareholder. So like payment of dividend to the preference holders and the redemption of capital, whereas no such preference is attached to the equity shareholder. So equity shareholder has a preference shareholder has no voting right. Equity shareholder has a voting rights. So these are the fundamental difference between the preference shareholders and the equity shareholders. So more you will get in the notes, but these are the basic point of difference between the preference shareholders and the equity shareholders. So this is also a preference share is also a long-term source of finance. So but they are just a loan provider. So company has to redeem back their capital. So these preference shareholders are of different types of preferences. So here first of all, two preference are payment of dividend, and redemption of capital. These two are the preference attached with the preference shareholders. That's why they are called preferences. So now next we have a types of preferences. Types of preferences. Those types of preferences are here. First one is cumulative preferences. Cumulative preferences are those preferences in which if a company cannot declare the dividend, it will be added in the following year, next year, subsequent years. If in any case a company not able to declare the dividend, it will be cumulative, it will be accumulated and declared in the following years. In the next year also, if it cannot declare dividend, it will be payable accumulated in the third year. Again, if it cannot be declared in the third year, again it will go to the fourth year. So it will be accumulated. So that's why it is called as cumulative preferences. And then we have non-cumulative. Non-cumulative preferential. Non-cumulative means if in any year the company not able to declare the dividend as a profit, they will not be given in the future also. They are not cumulative. They are not added in the future. If a company cannot declare the dividend in 1 year, it will be not carried forward in the next year. That's called as a non-cumulative preferences. And then we have a participating preferential. Participating preference shareholders are those shareholders, they participate in the surplus profit of the company. They get two types of dividend. One is dividend, normal dividend, and they also get the dividend on the excess profit of the company. When the company on super profit, on that profit also they get a dividend. They get normal dividend also. They get dividend on the super profit also. That's why two type of dividend they get. They participate in the surplus profit of the company. They participate in the super profit of the company. First they get a normal dividend. Number one, they get a normal dividend, and next is they get dividend in the super profit or excess profit. So that's why they participate in the super profit of the company. That's why they are also called as a participating preference share. And then we have a non-participating preference share. Non-participating preference share. Non-participating preference share are those preference shareholders who do not participate in the surplus profit of the company. That means they do not get the profit when the company earn excess super profit. So non-participating means they do not get profit on the excess profit earned by the company during the boom period. If a company earns super profit, they do not get the profit on that super profit. Whereas participating preference share means they participate in the excess profit also, they participate in the super profit also. But non-participating preference shares, they do not get profit on the super profit. So they do not participate in the super profit of the company. That's why they are called non-participating preference shares. Number 5, we have convertible preference share. Convertible preference share. Convertible preference shareholders are those preference shares which can be converted into equity shares. Convertible preference share means these shares can be easily converted into the equity shares. Another we have non-convertible preference share. Non-convertible preference share means they cannot convert into the equity share. This type of preference shares cannot be converted into the preference shares, so they are known as non-convertible preference shares. These shares cannot be converted into the equity shares. Whereas convertible equity shares, they can be converted into the equity share. The difference between the convertible equity share and convertible preference shares and non-convertible preference shares means convertible preference shares are those shares which can be converted into equity shares. Non-convertible preference shares means they cannot be converted into the equity shares. So this is the convertible preference shares and non-convertible preference shares. Convertible preference shares can be converted into the equity shares, whereas non-convertible preference shares means they cannot be converted into the equity shares. So, another we have redeemable preference share. Redeemable preference share. Redeemable preference shares are those shares whose share capital can be redeemed within the lifetime of the company. Before the company ends, it may be redeemed after 5 years, it may be redeemed. Redeem means to return back the capital of the preference shareholders. The preference shareholders' capital will be returned back by the company within the lifetime of the company. It may be redeemed, it may be returned after 5 years, it may be redeemed after 7 years, it may be returned after 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 11 years, 12 years. So within the lifetime of the company, it may be redeemed after 15 years, it may be redeemed after 20 years, but the company will redeem back. Redeem means to return back. The company will return back the capital of the preference shareholders. It is not a permanent capital. Company will use the capital for a certain period of time only. It may be for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, 13, 14, 15 years, 16 years, 17 years. So it company will use this capital for a certain number of years only. After that, the company will return back the capital of the redeemable preference shareholders. So this is not a permanent capital of the company. Another, we have a non-redeemable preference share. Non-redeemable preference shares are those preference shares whose share capital, whose preference share capital, this capital are not returned back within the lifetime of the company. As long as company is surviving, this capital are not returned back to the preference shareholders. So they are permanent capital of the company. They will be, the capital is permanent. It will not be returned back to the preference shareholder. It has no expiry time. Company will return back the preference shareholder money after the end of the company. When the company is closed, when the company is wind up, then only the company will return back the preference shareholder, this preference shareholder money. So this type of shares are called as non-redeemable preference share. Non-redeemable means non-returnable. The term non-redeemable means non-returnable. Their money, their capital is not redeemed. Their capital is not returned back within the lifetime of the company as long as the company is surviving. Their money is not returned back. So that's why they are a permanent capital of the company. They are called as a non-redeemable preference share. So these are the 8 types of different types of preference shares. Very important for your exam also. From here, short question answer can be asked, or in the long question also you may be asked, explain the any 4 type of preference shares, or any difference may be asked. What is the cumulative preference share, non-cumulative preference share? What is the difference between participating and non-participating? What is difference between convertible, non-convertible preference shares? So what is the difference between redeemable preference share and non-redeemable preference share? What is non-participating preference share? What is participating preference share? Any question can be asked from here. So these are the different types of preference shares. So next we have the advantage of preference shares. These are the preferences, meaning that 2 preferences are attached here. The term preference means here why preference shares are so called preference. The preference shares are so called preference because two preference has been attached regarding the payment of dividend. Dividend is first declared to the preference shareholder before dividend is declared to the equity shareholder. So first dividend is declared to the preference shareholder prior to the dividend declared to the equity shareholder, and next attached preference attached regarding the redemption of capital. So next we have advantage of preference shares. Advantages of preference shares. So please go through the note also. I'll write the notes in your copy. I am sending you the notes also. In last chapter also I have sent you the notes. Please complete the notes in your school copy also. As the school reopens, I will check all your notebook also. Now next we have advantage of preference shares. Advantage of preference shares is from the point of view of company. From point of view of company. So first is from the point of view of company. First, appeal to the cautious investor. Appeal to cautious investor. So it is this preference shareholder attracts only to those investors who do not want to take risk. This is appeal is requesting to those investors, those who do not want to take any kind of risk, who do not want to take any danger. So for them, preference shareholder is the best option. Those who do not want to take any risk. So who look for reasonable safety of the capital. So those shareholders who are looking for their safety of the capital, this preference share is better for them. So this is from the point of view of company. Appeal to the investors, preference shareholders, this great appeal to those investors who looks reasonably safety of their capital during the fixed but high return higher return than the obtained on debenture. So they get more dividend rather than they invest on the debentures. Number 2, no burden on profit. So preferential do not put fixed burden on finance as dividends are payable only on the profit. So dividends are only payable on the profit, so there is no fixed burden. So when there is a profit, preferential holder will get dividend. So otherwise, the cost of finance is also less. So preferential holder do not put any fixed burden. So on the finance, as dividend is a profit. Profit are payable only out of the profit. So and there is no interference in management also. No friend on management. No interference because they do not have any voting right. Preferential holder do not have any voting right, so they do not put any pressure on the management. They cannot interfere the management. So because they do not have any voice in the management, they cannot say anything in the management. They do not have any voting rights. That's why they cannot interfere the management of the company. So that's why no interference of the management. So this is the advantage for the company from the company point of view, because this preferential holder cannot interfere the management. No charge on asset. The asset of the when company issue the preferences, the company may not keep their asset under the mortgage to the preferential holders. So here the issue of preferences does not involve any kind of mortgage on any asset of the company. The company keep the fixed asset free to raise the loan. Company can use that asset in order to raise the loan, because while taking the loan from the preferential, when the assets of the company are not mortgage, so that asset company can use in the other to raise the loan. So in this way, trading on equity. Trading on equity. So by utilizing trading on equity means by utilizing the preferential holder money, equity shareholder can get more and more dividend. Because a company use equity shareholder, equity capital also, preferential capital also. But equity shareholder get more benefit by utilizing the outside money, that is preferential holder money. So by utilizing preferential holder money more, the company can earn more profit, and that dividend is declared to the equity shareholder. That dividend also enjoyed by the equity shareholder also. So that's why by utilizing the preferential capital, equity shareholder can benefit, reap more and more dividend. So this is advantages for the company that they trade. This is known as trading on equity. So 6 is flexibility. Flexibility. A company want like if it is a maximum preferential holders are redeemable. It is not a permanent capital like redeemable preferences. So when company want the capital, they can issue more redeemable preferences and increase the capital of the company. And when they do not like when the capital is heavy capital, excess capital, that time the company can return back, repay the capital to the preferential holders. So that's why it is flexible. When the company like, they can increase the capital. When the company do not like, when the company do not need capital, that time company can return back the capital of preferential. So in this way, this capital is flexible. Preferential capital is flexible because when company need the capital, they can increase the redeemable preferences, issue the redeemable preferences, and when the company do not need the capital, they can redeem back the preferential capital. So in this way, it is a flexible. So redeemable preferential amount can be repaid, and when company does not need it, the company can repay the capital of the redeemable preferences. Or participating or convertible preferential can be issued to attract the investor who want to share the growing prosperity of the company. So those who want to become the shareholder, equity shareholder also, this convertible preferential shareholders can be converted into the equity shareholder also. So that's why they have flexibility. Convertible preferential shareholder can be converted into equity share. Redeemable preferential, their capital is excess. Company can redeem back the capital. When the company need it, company can raise the capital by issuing the equity shares. When the company do not need, company can return back the capital. So in this way, When the company needs, company can issue the preferential capital. When the company do not need, company return back the redeemable capital. When the once company can convert the preferential into the equity share also. If company not want, may not be converted also. So that's why there is a flexibility of the preference share. So that's why they are. So from the point of view of the investors, if you see the advantage from the point of view of investors, this is from the point of view of company now, from the point of view of investors. From the point of view of investors, investors get stable and regular dividend before the payment of equity share. So regular dividend before prior to equity share. This is the first advantage of preferential for the investors, for the preferential holder. What are the advantages of preferential for those preferential holders, for the investors who are investing the money in the preferentials? What are the advantages of preferential to the investors? First is, investors they get more stable and regular dividend before the payment of dividend to the equity shares, and rate of dividend is also fixed. And rate of dividend rate is also fixed. Rate of dividend is fixed. The fixed dividend. The risk involved in the is comparatively less than the risk involved is comparatively less because preferential capital is payable before the equity capital and before the winding of the company. Here, risk of capital is very less than the equity share, because when the company is closed, first company will return back the capital of the preferential holder. That's why redemption of capital risk is less since capital is redeemed before equity share capital. So risk is also less in the preferential because when the company is closed, wind up, first capital is returned back to the preferential holder. That's why from this point of view also it is very advantageous for the preferential holders. So preferential holder can get back their investment after certain time of period. Preferential cannot be issued for a period more than the 20 years. So in case of the redeemable preferentials, if you see within the time, before the company within the survival of the period, as long as company is there, company will return back the shareholders' money, preferential holders' money. It may maximum within 20 years. Company has to return back the preferential holders' money. So it is not a lifetime capital. Company has to return back. Maximum company can issue the preferential for maximum 20 years, not more than 20 years. So it is not a permanent capital of the company. So company preferential, they can expect to get back the investment after a certain number of years. So preferential holders, they can expect that capital to be returned back within the certain period of time. Maximum the company can issue preferential for 20 years only. So in case of cumulative preferential also, it is very, very important that dividend is accumulated. In case of cumulative preferentials, if any years the company may not be able to declare the dividend is declared in the following years. So that's why this is also advantageous for the investors. But the drawbacks are, there is drawbacks of preferentials. Drawbacks of preferentials. Drawbacks of preferentials are here. From the point of view of company, it is costly. always you have to write, whenever you are writing advantage or disadvantage, you have to see from the point of view of who's either investor or company, that you have to mention. The question also, it will come like that: drawback of preferences from the point of view of shareholders or company side. So from the companies, first of all, costly source. Issuing preference share is very expensive than issuing the preference share. The cost of issuing the preference share is greater than the preference share dividend is not deductible from for tax purpose also. So here the cost of raising the preference share is greater than the debenture. So rather than issuing the debenture, cost of issuing the preference share is very costly. Permanent burden. So dividend on preference share has to be paid at a fixed rate before the dividend declared to the equity share. So when a company with a loss of burden of dividend is highly, especially in case of cumulative preference shares. So, permanent dividend burden, because a fixed rate of dividend is there. Whether company will get high profit or low profit, less profit, company has to declare a fixed rate of dividend. In case of cumulative preference shares, if any year a company may not be able to declare a dividend, that will be accumulated for the next year, following year. So that's the fixed burden for the company. Another, we have a legal formalities. Redemption of preference, legal formalities is used. Legal formalities. So there is more legal formalities in issuing the preference. There are a lot of paperwork, several procedures are there for issuing the preferences. So it is complex procedure, lengthy legal formalities, complex also. So it is very difficult to issue the preference shares. And then we have a law appeal. This preference shareholder is not attracting all kind of people, all category of people. So it is the preference share have a little appeal to the investor. Cautious and conservative investor prefer to invest in debenture. Those who are cautious, those who are conservative, narrow-minded, they issue on debentures, not on the preference share. So that's why, therefore, company can raise a fund little through the preference shares. Less amount of capital can be accumulated by issuing the preference shares. So this is the drawback of preference share from the point of view of company. Let's see the drawback of from the point of view of shareholders. So since the lack of now point of view from the investors. Lack of voting right. They have no say in the management, they have no rights in the management, they do not have voting right. So in this way, the company, this is a drawback for the preference shareholders. So again, fear of being shown the door. Holder of redeemable preferences have to fear yet another unpleasant problem. The company will raise capital from them when it is bad, in need of fund. But once it is served, big goodbye to them. So that means here, when company is in need of money, when company is not going good, that time company will issue preference shares. But once when the company is doing good, that time company will return back their capital. So this is the drawback of preference shares. So when the company is not doing good, that time they issue preference share and bring the preference share, utilize the preference share capital. Once the company rise, they start doing good, then they will return back the preference share capital. So this is a drawback for the. So that means preference shareholders are a fair weather friend. We can also say preference shareholders are a fair weather friend. When the company is doing good, they return the capital of preference shares. When the company is not doing good, they take the capital from the preference shares. So this is the drawback. No capital appreciation. The value of the capital also not appreciated. The preference shareholders do not get the benefit of the appreciation in the investment. Whatever amount they have invested, the same amount of investment they will get afterwards also. So because they do not increase, they do not appreciate the value of capital. They do not share in the prosperity of the company during the boom period also. When the company is doing good, that time they cannot participate in that boom period. So no guarantee of dividend. Payment of dividend or preference share is not guaranteed. Rate of dividend is generally modest. So there is no guarantee of getting the dividend. When the company is not earning profit also, they will not get dividend. Only cumulative preferential, if company do not declare dividend, they will be accumulated in the next year. But in other preferences, they will not get. If company will earn profit, they will get dividend. If company will not earn the profit, they will not get dividend. And rate of dividend is also modest, normal. Price fluctuation of preferential is greater than the dividend. The value of the dividend may go higher, it fluctuates. So these are the drawback of preferences. So this was for today. So we have discussed all about the preferences, meaning the features of preferences, advantage of preferences from the point of view of company, from the point of view of investors, and drawback of the preferences from the point of view of investors and from the point of view of company. So I will be again sending the notes on this. Please copy the notes of this source of finance of a joint stock company. So next we will do the bonus shares, employee stock options. So we'll continue in the next class. Thank you.